There's no shortage of absolute powerhouses in the MCU, and most teams are made up of their planet or galaxy's heaviest hitters. But out of all of them, who's the strongest of each? That's what we're finding out today. The Avengers? Even within the MCU, and especially within the Avengers, Wanda Maximoff is in a league of her own. The Scarlet Witch isn't the fastest or most durable, but her raw power and reality-altering abilities just put her so far above everyone else, it's not even funny. Most other heroes, they're defined by physical feats. Thor surviving a star, Hulk punching Surtur's face, Iron Man's armor being able to hang with Thanos for a bit. These are all great feats. But Wanda overwhelms you through sheer magical force. That's just how busted chaos magic is. Even a pre-Scarlet Witch Wanda was able to rip through vibranium, and fair play to Ultron here. He was really beat up. But even still, it took 3 of the strongest Avengers to even begin putting a dent in this guy. Just to give you some context, vibranium is the strongest metal on Earth. Cap's shield is made of, and it was able to block a full blow from Thor. But that's cookie-cutter stuff for Wanda. One of the most impressive things we've ever seen anyone do in the MCU was this. To hold Thanos back like that is a feat on its own, but to destroy an Infinity Stone with one hand? Yeah, no one's doing that, and you get to see what she can do with both hands when she absolutely overpowers Thanos in Endgame. This is the same Thanos that went 3 versus 1 against Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America with Mjolnir. Don't believe me? Hear it from Kevin Feige himself.
Wanda Maximoff was going to kill Thanos.
Yeah.
If he hadn't desperately, that's as scared as I've ever seen Thanos.
And as if all of that isn't enough, recently, she destroyed Kamartaj and overpowered Strange and Wong together on her own. Now that her power has truly been unlocked as the Scarlet Witch, she's capable of rewriting reality, and she pretty much did just that when she made Westview. That's something you'd expect out of the Reality Stone. I know a lot of you guys might have expected to see someone like the Hulk or Thor here, and honestly, in terms of raw physical strength or durability, I'd put them above Wanda, but in terms of sheer destructive potential or magical prowess, there's just no competing with her. All in all, Wanda Maximoff is probably the last person in the MCU you ever want to piss off. The Darkhold has a whole chapter dedicated to her for a reason, and it's because she's a living, universal-level nuke. We're lucky America Chavez got clever and made her realize that she's going insane, because man, nobody was beating her in Multiverse of Madness. The Eternals? This team has no shortage of A-list fighters, but the strongest Eternal has to be Icarus. Not only is he the tactical leader of the group, but he's also got some insane accomplishments to back it up. Firstly, the guy is over thousands of years old, and throughout that time, he's been racking up piles of combat experience. It's the same argument people make for Thor. He's had all that time to perfect his fighting style, hone his skills, and learn the art of strategy. A warrior forged by countless planetary conflicts, Icarus is more than capable of holding his own, even against other Eternals. Even super speed isn't fast enough here.
Enough.
You know, despite ganging up on him, the Eternals struggled with Icarus. The guy goes blow for blow against their best hits, even taking bladed blows from Thena. Thena cut Gilgamesh with this same blade, by the way. And speaking of Gilgamesh, physically speaking, he packs more power and his punches are explosive. But despite that, he's not really able to damage him, which speaks to how durable Icarus really is. Plus, his endurance is off the charts. He can hold his own in prolonged, high-octane battles with seemingly no loss in performance. So the guy has a serious gas tank on him. Then there's his incredible speed. He might actually be as fast as light, if not faster. He's definitely relevant to it. Do you know how long it takes to travel to the sun? anywhere between a decade or two, depending on what you're flying on. Now, just check out how fast he gets there. Icarus also has a range of abilities that help him be an all-rounder in combat. He can shoot concentrated beams from his eyes that let him effortlessly bully deviants. This means he has options at long, mid, and close range against any foe. On top of that, he's a very capable flyer, being able to maneuver and fight mid-air with a lot of ease and finesse. It's this versatile and complete toolkit that makes him the strongest Eternal. Sure, others might specialize in something, like Gil with his strength or Makari with super speed, but that only gives them a small edge. The X-Men. There's really no contest here. An OG X-Men member and an A-class mutant, Jean Grey is insanely powerful. Her telepathic and telekinetic powers were already exceptional, but what really makes her stand out is her connection to the Phoenix Force. Now, before you ask, let me explain. The Phoenix Force is an immensely powerful cosmic entity, capable of manipulating matter and energy on a molecular scale. It arrived on Earth sometime in the 90s and was immediately drawn to Jean Grey, whom it chose as its host. Besides giving her a series of mental issues, it also made her absurdly powerful. Not only is she the most powerful telepath on Earth, but she also has essentially unlimited telekinesis. Fun fact, did you know Professor X literally placed mental blocks in her psyche so that her own power wouldn't overwhelm her? Eventually, she even destroyed those restraints. Originally, her locked powers manifested themselves as the Phoenix, an alter ego lurking in the subconscious of Jean's mind. This was really rare, though. Her alter ego would stay dormant pretty much most of the time. Even without it, her telekinesis was strong enough to lift people, cars, trains, and even do this. That's a plane in one hand and a tidal wave in the other, by the way. On top of that, Jean can use her telekinesis to make strong barriers and shields, or, well, even deflect lightning. Guess we can add super reflexes to the list too. If she puts her mind to it, literally, she can atomize anything that isn't adamantium. Even somebody as powerful as Professor X wasn't safe. And when enhanced by the Phoenix Force, it even lets her overpower the regeneration of other mutants. There are a lot of reality-bending, space-warping freaks of nature in Marvel, but Jean Grey is one person you really don't want to piss off. The Fantastic Four. This one's a bit tough. Technically, there's no real contest. It's Franklin Richards any day of the week. But given the fact that he's like 4 years old, the actual strongest fighter in the group is Susan Storm. Let me explain. Franklin's another Jean Grey type. He's tied to the power cosmic, which is actually why Galactus is so obsessed with taking him. Essentially, his connection to this universal force makes him able to do pretty much anything he wants. And I really do mean anything, even resurrecting someone. Sue Storm's a more traditional case, though. After being exposed to cosmic radiation, her body changed, giving her 2 powers: the ability to become invisible and to generate really strong force fields. Sue's powers aren't really pure invisibility, though. Instead, she can control light, bending it so it makes her seem invisible. Think of it like the ultimate camouflage. She can make objects and the environment around her invisible as well. The force fields are where she really shines, making her a walking tank. Typically, she'll use the fields to stop the team from getting overwhelmed or suffering a lethal blow. But that's not all. These fields are strong enough to also be one of the team's best offenses. All in all, this mother-son duo is a force of nature. The Guardians of the Galaxy. Adam Warlock is just built differently. No, literally, he was engineered and designed to be the best of the sovereign race.
It's a new type of birthing pod man?
That, my child, is the next step in our evolution. More powerful, more beautiful, more capable of destroying the guardians of the galaxy.
Aisha went out of her way for her golden boy. Get it? Because of his skin? It's a big part of why he's so strong. Despite being released from his cocoon prematurely, he was strong enough to take down the Guardians simultaneously. Dude was even throwing around Drax like he was a kid. Adam has all the superhero standards like super speed, strength, healing, and agility. Plus, he can even control energy. That's what lets him shoot out those beams. He's also got big survival skills. Adam can fly through space without needing anything at all. We might see more power-ups for Adam in the future if he ends up evolving further, but even on a bad day, he's comfortably the strongest Guardian. The Thunderbolts. I know we are all thinking it. It's gotta be the Sentry. Even in the comics, the Sentry is absurdly powerful, and the movies seem to be staying true to the source material.
Oh my god.
That's
A former meth head turned superhero, Robert Bob Reynolds was the only survivor of some really gnarly experiments known as Project Sentry. This was an operation by Valentina's organization, OXE.
Power of 1,000 exploding suns. Golden guardian of good. It's a mouthful.
Wow. Sentry. Very shiny.
Bob goes from an average dude to an Avengers level threat. He's got a really deep bag of tricks, ranging from invincibility to telekinesis, which he uses hilariously. During this entire fight, he pretty much manhandles the Thunderbolts. The Sentry is also the host of the Void, a malevolent persona with godlike power that mirrors every heroic act with equal devastation. He's also very fond of turning people into shadows. The Void is basically Bob's trauma manifested as a villainous alter ego. Yeah, Marvel really loves the whole inner demons thing. This version of him is obsessed with forcing people to confront their worst memories and moments, and it does that by trapping them in a shadow dimension, which, yeah, Bob can make his own dimension. That's his most dangerous ability, matter manipulation.
Come on, come on!
He uses this to varying degrees, but taken to its extreme, he can literally be a planet-level or even universal threat as the Void. The only real threat to the Void is Bob's own mental state. His feelings of worthlessness are the basis of this persona, and the stronger they are, the stronger the Void gets. In the end, it's the connections he has that pull him back from the brink. In a way, one of his abilities is literally the power of friendship. But is Sentry really Marvel's Superman? Pretty much, yeah. Bob has a big thing for heroes, so his whole thing is being heroism personified, and that's why he's got the whole cape and golden suit aesthetic going. His character and abilities make more sense when you view them as personifications of his inner world. So if the Void is the troubled side, the Sentry is his best self. Described as the equivalent of 1,000,000 exploding suns, Sentry's pretty dangerous. Characters like Captain Marvel or Icarus might outmuscle their opponents, but Sentry can sort of just do anything he wants, really. People like the Thunderbolts aren't anything to him. Then there's the super speed, strength, flight, telekinesis, the whole 9 yards. This guy is a problem for sure. The Illuminati. Born Blackagar Boltagan, and yes, that really is his full government name, Black Bolt is the king of Adolin, the leader of the Inhumans, and a living sonar nuke. There's a reason he essentially never talks, and that's because his power is so overwhelming that his entire life is defined by restraint. The Inhumans themselves were just these expendable super soldiers made by the Kree. For their never-ending war efforts. To boost their ranks a bit, they went to different planets, started abducting the local populace, and began experiments on them. Just typical Kree things. Humans were among that unlucky group, and Earth is where their experiments succeeded the most. This led to the creation of the Inhumans, who, over time, withdrew from Earth, forming a hidden civilization on the moon. Black Bolt was born into the royal line of this society. The Inhumans awaken their powers through a process known as terrigenesis, which is exposure to a mist-like substance that unlocks their talents. When Black Bolt went through this, his vocal cords became supercharged. Any sound the guy made would unleash this massive sonic shockwave capable of destroying anything in his path. It was a power that defied all expectations.
According to our testing, Black Bolt's voice may very well be the most powerful and dangerous gift in all of human history.
But as cool as his ability sounds, it's a deeply depressing one. Black Bolt literally cannot speak for the safety of everyone around him. As a kid, the one time he accidentally did speak, he ended up vaporizing his parents. Yeah, dark. He'll do that to anybody, by the way, regardless of how strong they are. That even goes for people like Strange.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There's a real reason why the Illuminati thought he was their best counter against the Scarlet Witch, and despite that whole thing going embarrassingly bad for him, he was a proper threat to her. The Masters of the Mystic Arts. A natural with a knack for magic, Doctor Strange is one of the strongest characters in the MCU. He's definitely got no equal among his fellow Masters, and if he weren't blipped for 5 years, he'd probably be Sorcerer Supreme right now. A former neurosurgeon trained in magic by the Ancient One, his only real equal was his teacher and the Scarlet Witch. But since neither of them is in the running anymore, that makes Strange the heavyweight champion for magic users. He's got his limits, of course. He's not as fast, durable, or physically strong as people like Cap, Thor, Black Widow, or the Hulk. If any of them get the drop on him before he can cast a spell, he's probably going down. But that's where his expertise comes into play, because Strange is one of the fastest casters we've seen. He's got a really versatile arsenal, too. You'd think his best spells would just be energy blasts, but this isn't Dragon Ball. Instead, Strange has a spell for every situation. Trapping his enemy? You got it. Need to stop a black hole? Easy. He even has an alternate dimension on speed dial, namely the mirror dimension. Strange uses some busted relics, too. For one, the Cloak of Levitation is a witty, sentient, enchanted cloak that acts as both a friend and a shield. Before he lost it, he also used the Eye of Agamotto and the Time Stone within, which is how he trapped Dormammu in an infinite time loop.
Dormammu! I've come to bargain! Dormammu! Dormammu! Dormammu!
He's so good at using it that he was able to do this.
To view alternate futures, to see all the possible outcomes of the coming conflict.
How many did you see?
14,605.
And I mean, let's break this down a little. That's millions of possible timelines he analyzed in the span of minutes. Then there's his sling ring, an artifact that can open interdimensional portals to basically anywhere. He's pretty clever with this in a fight too. Case in point.
Magic! More magic! Magic with a kick! Magic with a...
Strange's best skill isn't his magic though, it's his mind. His aptitude for learning and understanding different kinds of magic is what makes him so dangerous. For example, he learned how to use the Eye of Agamotto through the Book of Cagliostro. As long as he has a spell, book, or any resource, really, Strange's potential might be limitless. As cool as our traditional brawler types are, the top heroes are usually some kind of reality warper, a mage, or an experiment. But whose is your favorite out of all of these? And who do you personally think is the strongest? There are lots of arguments for Thor or Strange as the strongest Avenger too. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.